We Were Just Playing by Sevastian Winters. Chapter 1. Tents and Trouble. The wind makes the tent flap like a big bird trying to get out. It scares my sister, so I tell her it's just the wind, just the sky blowing too hard. She believes me. She always believes me. Mama says not to leave the tent today, but Papa says we can go as long as we stay where he can see us. I don't know how he can see us if he's with his friends doing a strike, but I don't say anything. Grown-ups don't like too many questions, even when they're not mad, and Mama's mad a lot lately. I don't know what a strike is, but Mama says it is because Papa refuses to work until he and his friends get something they want. I think it's more money. Grown-ups talk a lot about money. It's the only thing I ever see them argue about. The ground outside is brown and crunchy, like it's made of crackers. I draw a line in it with a stick and make a square. My sister steps in the middle and puts her arms out like a bird. She turns and turns until she falls, giggling. I don't fall when I spin. I just keep going until the sky tips sideways and I have to sit down or puke. There's a man with no mustache sitting by a barrel fire. He's got a blanket wrapped around his legs, even though it's not cold yet. I think his foot is hurt. He doesn't talk, just stares at the fire like it's telling him something. I wave at him. He doesn't wave back. Some of the tents have smoke coming out the tops. Some don't. The ones that do smell like coffee and meat. Ours smells like boiled turnips and potatoes again. Mama says if we don't like it, we can talk to Rockefeller. Then she says a word we're not supposed to say. That motherfucker. Then she laughs, but it's not a funny laugh. A man came to our tent last night. I was pretending to be asleep, but I saw. He talked quiet and Papa nodded a lot. I couldn't hear much, but I heard the word scabs. I think that's a bad word for workers who don't strike. But Mama says not to repeat anything I don't understand. I told her she shouldn't say things I don't understand then. She slapped me. Not hard, just enough to stop me from talking. That was yesterday. There's a dog that comes around sometimes. I don't know who it belongs to. It's got patches of fur missing and a funny limp, but it lets me feed it scraps when Mama's not looking. I call it Button. My sister wants to call it Rosie, but she calls everything Rosie. A wagon went by this morning. Real quiet. 4 wheels, creaky. 2 horses, one with a white patch on its eye. A soldier was sitting on the back. He didn't wave. His gun was across his lap like it was sleeping. I waved anyway. Papa doesn't let us go near the soldiers. They ain't real soldiers, he told me once. They're hired men in pretty coats. I asked who hired them, and he said, the kind of man who sends money instead of coming himself. I think he meant Rockefeller again. That man must be real rich and real mean. Some tents have little flags on them. One has a flag with just a red star. Another has the American flag, but it's all torn up and dirty. Ours doesn't have anything. Just a coat hanging on a rope out front like it's guarding the door. There's a game I like to play when the sun gets high. I lay down with my eyes closed and listen real hard. I try to name all the sounds without peeking. Voices, shovels, pots clanging, sometimes crying, sometimes nothing. But not today. Today there's yelling across the tents. Not fighting, just loud talking. I can't tell what about. I think I hear the word guard, or maybe yard. They sound the same. Mama comes outside and tells us to hush and come in. Her hands are red from scrubbing something. She wipes them on her dress and checks the sky like she's looking for a storm. Stay close, she says. Then she touches the top of my head real soft. Like she forgot I was there, then remembered. Inside it smells like boiled turnips again. I don't mind the taste, but I don't like how it makes the air heavy. Papa's gone again. Probably digging. He's always digging something lately. I asked if he was making a well. He said no. Then he said something like that. My sister starts singing the song Mama used to sing at bedtime, the one about the stars and the lamb and the tree. She forgets some words and makes up her own. Mama doesn't stop her. Later, we go outside again and play in the dirt. I draw a bigger square and we jump in and out. My sister falls and gets dust on her face. She laughs. I laugh too. We were just playing. Southern Colorado, 1914. Before the war came. Before we knew the rules. Chapter 2. The Men with Guns. The boots come before the voices. Crunch, crunch, crunch on the dry ground like someone chewing rocks. I peek through the flap and see the tall men again. Not the ones from the mine. Not the ones who smile. These ones wear belts with shiny buckles and guns that look too heavy for walking. Mama pulls me back from the flap and says, "Don't look at them." I say I wasn't, but she gives me the look like she knows better. She always knows better. My sister hides behind the pot. It's not hot today, but she still thinks the pot is a good place. She whispers, "Are they the same ones?" I don't know what she means. I nod anyway. Papa stands outside. He's not digging, just standing with his arms crossed and his mouth tight. One of the men says something to him. I can't hear what. Papa doesn't answer, but he doesn't move either. The man spits near his boots. Then they all laugh and walk past. Mama mutters something. I think it's a prayer, but it's not like the church kind. It sounds more like a warning. After they go, we're not allowed to go outside for a long time. Mama tells us to play quiet. My sister wants to sing. Mama says no singing. Not today. The air feels different after they come. Thicker, like it's holding its breath. Even the dog doesn't show up. When the sun moves across the canvas, I lie down and look at the light on the tent wall. It makes shapes. One looks like a rabbit. One looks like a hat. I see a shape that looks like the man with the gun, and I sit up fast. I pretend I didn't see it. That makes it less real. Papa comes in and says it's over for now. He says it like he doesn't believe it. I ask him what they want. He says, "To scare us." I ask, "Did it work?" He doesn't answer. That night, there's more talking in the tent. A man named Leo comes. His voice is loud but not angry. He says, "They're trying to starve us out." Papa says, "It won't work." Mama says nothing. I sit under the blanket and hold my sister's hand. She's already asleep. I'm not scared, but my heart beats too fast. I don't know what it means to be starved out, but it sounds like something that makes your mama cry when she thinks you're not watching. Chapter 3. Hiding Places. Papa says we're building a fort. He brings a shovel and starts digging under the back corner of the tent where the ground is soft. My sister claps and says, "For playing." Papa smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. "Something like that," he says, just like he did about the well. I help carry the dirt out in a tin can. We dump it behind the woodpile where no one will step. Papa makes the hole deep enough so we can both sit inside with our knees up. It's dark and smells like roots and old socks. I ask if we can sleep in there. He says no, just hide if Mama tells us to. Mama doesn't like the hole. I hear her say so when she thinks we're outside. "It won't stop fire," she whispers. Papa says, "It's better than nothing." Then he says something about Chicago and the mill strike. Mama's voice breaks when she says, "Those were grown men, Sam." That night I crawl into the hole with my sister. We pretend we're rabbits. She says I'm the papa rabbit and she's the baby. We make chewing sounds and giggle. Mama pulls us out and says, "Not for fun." But she kisses our heads, so I know she's not really mad. The next day, Papa lines the walls with boards he took from a broken crate. He puts a blanket over the top so it stays cool. It's our secret fort now. I keep a rock in there shaped like a heart. My sister keeps a spoon. It feels safe. But only when I don't think too hard. Later, I hear shouting near the mess tent. A woman says they arrested her husband. She's crying loud. Mama goes to her and holds her by the shoulders. I try to see what's happening, but Papa tells me to get inside. His voice is sharper than usual. I don't argue. In the evening, Button finally shows up again. I feed him a crust and pet his ears. He licks my hand and leaves. We all lie in the tent when the lantern goes out, not talking. My sister curls against Mama's belly. I listen to Papa breathing like he's still digging, even when he's still. I close my eyes and pretend the hole is magic. Like it'll take us to a different camp with clean clothes and real soup and no men with guns. I don't tell anyone. It only works if you keep it secret. Chapter 4. The Fire Comes. Mama wakes us before the sun. She already has her boots on. Her hands are shaking, and she keeps looking out through the flap like something's about to come crashing through it. "Get dressed," she says. "Now." My sister is still half asleep. I help her with her shoes. She wants to bring the spoon. Mama says no. "Just your coat." My sister starts to cry, but stops when Mama grabs her by both shoulders and says, "Please." Outside, there's shouting. Lots of it. Men yelling. Some in words I know. Some in the ones Papa calls company talk. I see smoke in the distance. Then I hear the popping. First just one, then another, then too many to count. Papa says it's not fireworks. Mama pulls us fast to the hole. She's holding something wrapped in a towel. Bread or water, maybe both. She drops it before we get there. Doesn't stop to pick it up. Just pushes us down into the dark, one after the other. The air is cold. The blanket goes over the top. Everything gets quiet except for breathing. My sister holds my arm tight. "Is this the game?" she whispers. I don't answer. I want it to be the game. But I know it's not. Someone outside screams. A man. Then a noise I don't know. Like something big and metal falling and cracking open. Then more popping, like the 4th of July, but angrier. Mama climbs down with us and pulls us close. Her coat smells like smoke already. She keeps whispering softly and rocking even though there's no space. Her body makes a wall around us. I can't see anything. Just her hand pressed tight against my back, moving up and down. The air gets hotter. Dust trickles down from the boards above us. My sister says, "I can't breathe good." Mama kisses her forehead and says, "Soon, baby. Just a little longer." Her voice sounds wrong, like she's crying with her throat. I ask where Papa is. She doesn't answer. I try not to imagine him in the fire, but I do. The dirt starts to taste like metal. My lips feel sticky. Someone runs over the top of the tent, then a crash, then fire maybe. It gets brighter through the cracks in the wood. I can't see the fire, but I know it's there. I can hear it eat. My sister starts to sob. Mama hums the lullaby song. The one about stars and the lamb and the tree. She sings it too soft. I know she's scared. I know she's lying. I put my arm around my sister. I tell her we're just playing. We're rabbits again, in our burrow. The world outside is just pretend. It doesn't count if you're quiet. My sister stops crying. The air burns to breathe. Mama coughs. I cough. My sister does too. The dark smells like smoke and soup and fear. I try to say something funny to make them laugh, but my mouth won't move right. Then everything goes quiet, except Mama's heart beating against my ear. Fast. Then slower. Then just the fire. Chapter 5. Smoke and Silence. It's hard to tell if my eyes are open or closed. Everything's dark now, not the kind that comes before morning, the kind that presses, heavy. Still, Mama's arms are around us, but they're not moving, not rocking anymore, just holding. Like she's waiting for something, like she's keeping the fire out with her body. My sister's cheek is against my chest. Her mouth's open a little, like she fell asleep that way. She's not making the soft noises she makes when she dreams. I touch her hair. It's damp. I whisper her name, but it stays inside my mouth. It's too hot. The air won't come all the way in anymore. When I try to breathe, it gets stuck and makes my chest ache. My nose is running, but I don't wipe it. My fingers don't want to move. Everything smells like burnt clothes and dirt and something sharp I can't name. I listen for the fire, but I think it's gone now, or far away, or burned itself out. Mama's face is close to mine. I can't see it, but I feel her breath on my cheek. Just barely, then not at all. I wait. Maybe she's resting. Maybe she'll laugh and say it's over. Maybe she's letting me be the big one now. I don't know what to do. I think about Button. Maybe he ran when the Louds started. Maybe he's hiding in someone else's fort. I hope he's not scared. I hope someone feeds him. I try to sing the song, the one about the stars, but the words won't come and my throat hurts too much. I hum one note, just one. That's all I can do. I close my eyes tighter, even though it doesn't matter. I imagine we're all just playing. In the dark. Being quiet, like Mama said. Like the game. And when we win, Papa will come pull back the blanket and laugh and say, "You fooled me good." I wait. But the game keeps going. And everything stays quiet. Everything hurts. Is this what dying is? I try to whisper something to Mama, but my mouth barely works. It's not even a sound, just a thought. We were just playing, Mama. Author's note: We Were Just Playing is based on the true story of the Ludlow Massacre, which took place on April 20th, 1914 in southern Colorado. The victims were striking coal miners and their families, mostly immigrants, who had been evicted from company housing and forced to live in a tent colony during a long labor standoff with the Colorado Fuel and Iron Company, owned by the Rockefeller family. That morning, Colorado National Guard troops and private agents attacked the colony with machine guns, set the tents on fire, and killed at least 25 people. Among them were 2 women and 11 children, most of whom suffocated in a pit dug beneath one of the burning tents. The youngest victim was just 3 months old. No one was ever held criminally responsible. The child narrator in this story is fictional, but her world is drawn from documented accounts. The dugout hiding places, the ambient fear of state-sanctioned violence, and the senseless deaths of children who never knew the forces working against them. In the aftermath, the Ludlow Massacre was deliberately whitewashed and called a riot. It was buried by public relations firms and largely excluded from American education. This story does not aim to editorialize. It simply imagines what no one at the time bothered to record, what it might have felt like to be a child in those final hours, waiting for rescue that never came.